Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by with the Season 2 Reloaded update. Per usual, when we see a major title update like what we had, there are major downloads required across all platforms. And in these downloads, the file sizes are often a bit larger when something big is on the horizon. In this case, Season 3. That's why we saw 50, 60, 70, 80 gig downloads for this update that admittedly didn't really do all that much for the current version of the game outside of some TMNT stuff and some tuning, right? But it does seem like a large portion of this update is actually, so big because of what's coming in Season 3. And that, of course, is Verdansk, the return. And with this now, data miners and leakers have gone into the files and already started to see various different references to Verdansk. So today we've got some of our very first leaks and rumors in regards to the Black Ops 6 and Warzone Verdansk update. Right away, a lot of this information is stemming from Reality UK and then also Alex over on Twitter, a couple of data miners and leakers here in the community. We've talked about them a bunch. First and foremost, Verdansk references have now been added to the files. So this means in the coming days and weeks, we could see even more surface for this update and for Verdansk, getting actual details on different POIs or other things that could be associated with this. We already have a good chunk of stuff that we'll be covering in this video, but it's possible that as time goes on, they discover more and more files. So obviously, I'll be keeping you guys in the know for anything that surfaces in regards to maybe the most anticipated update of the year for Warzone, at least outside of just the basic integration, right? So if you want to guarantee you're always in the know, feel free to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications, and if you enjoy this video, a like rating is always seriously appreciated as well. But yes, files have now first started being added into Warzone and Black Ops 6 in regards to Verdansk. And with some of these files, we now have greater details on this update itself. Like for instance, apparently, according to the files, we are going to have a Resurgence variant take place on Verdansk. Now, back in OG Warzone, Verdansk had a ton of different LTMs. There were honestly some really cool ones. BR200, buyback quads, iron trials, titanium trials, all sorts of stuff like that. We also at times had things like mini royale, where it was sectioned off areas of Verdansk and it was a mini battle royale. But Resurgence on Verdansk, not really something we had a ton of. So this obviously would be just a nice little rotation LTM, I would imagine, going through and having the Resurgence rules so you can keep respawning on sectioned off areas of Verdansk, whether it's just the port POI or just the prison POI or whatever the case is there. This could be a nice little twist on Resurgence gameplay, so you're not just playing it on Rebirth or Area 99 here. We'd also have Verdansk as an option to just cut down to some smaller areas. So personally, looking forward to that one. Now, this is a particularly interesting leak here from Reality. Says the code name for Verdansk in the game files is OG_Verdansk. Usually the code names for maps are something that just starts with like the same letter, like it might be Vendetta, for instance, because it starts with a V, just as an example, right? However, with this, very obvious. OG Verdansk. Should be able to infer that that means the OG version of the map is what's coming. Does this mean Stadium is going to be closed once again? The leaks and rumors that we've heard up until this point is that one, the version of Verdansk that's coming back is going to be a fan favorite version of the map. However, that's sort of subjective. You might think the fan favorite version is MW 2019 Season 5 when the stadium was opened, or Cold War Season whatever, right? When we had various updates there. It's a very subjective thing, so that was kind of confusing first and foremost. We've also seen other leaks and rumors from people like the Ghost of Hope saying that something like Fringe, a Black Ops point of interest, is going to be on Verdansk, and it won't actually be an original version of the map whatsoever. It'll be a new version of Verdansk. The files would indicate otherwise. What if we're going all the way back to the very start and then they kind of take the Fortnite OG route, and maybe in Season 4 for Black Ops 6, we start to see updates to Verdansk that we had back in MW 2019 where the subway station is added, and then we do see the stadium opened up, and that just happens over time. Very curious to see what the long-term plan is here. Obviously, this is information that we'll get though once we see official reveals and announcements and details on the map, not just straight up leaks. So take that, for what it is. And then this is another bit of interesting information. Doesn't necessarily pertain directly to Verdansk, but it ties alongside the return of the Verdansk era, if you will. There's a bunch of new operator code names that were added into the game with the Season 2 Reloaded update, including some for 2025. These are just code names, like we don't know anything about this for Maroon or Lettuce and Cabbage, right? But we do have a couple that are a bit more obvious. Rose, one of the most classic and maybe in some people's opinion, obnoxious skins back from Warzone 1. Mace as an operator as well. And then also Hudson. So a couple of classic Modern Warfare and Black Ops operators are now in the files. This could absolutely tie into the return of Verdansk and like that MW era, trying to live off some nostalgia there. Or they just really want a reason to resell the Rose skin again because they know people are going to buy it because it's going to blend into the shadows. Wouldn't be surprised there at all, but something that could easily tie into Verdansk itself, even though it's not a direct leak in regards to the map. And then Alex here also has some new details courtesy of the game files, saying there is a possibility of Urzikstan being removed with Verdansk coming. So a big question here for sure has been what's going to go on with Big Map Battle Royale. Obviously Urzikstan, we're playing on the version of the map that we had a year ago plus within Modern Warfare 3. Like the map itself, kind of monotonous, kind of stale. They made all those updates onto Urzikstan throughout Modern Warfare 3, and then we got them all reverted with the launch of it here in Black Ops 6 Warzone. So it's just kind of been stale gameplay here. And obviously with ranked play being a Battle Royale feature, now it's been a big conversation what's going to happen when Verdansk does return. And apparently, according to the data miners and leakers here, it's going to be a full-on switch like what we've had before. Every time a new Battle Royale map comes in, OG Verdansk was replaced by Verdansk 84. Verdansk 84 was replaced by Caldera. Caldera was replaced by Al Mazrah. Al Mazrah replaced by Urzikstan. And now Urzikstan potentially being replaced by Verdansk yet again. So potentially no big map rotation. That would presumably also shift ranked play over to Verdansk, which I do think would be pretty cool. That'll be the first time we'll ever be able to experience that. But then also looking forward, it causes even more concern and maybe confusion there, because then going forward into COD 2025, when Avalon is supposed to be dropping, are we only going to see Verdansk for season 3, 4, 5, and 6, and then it'll get replaced by Avalon? Because I'm sure that's going to upset players, you know, having Verdansk only come back for a limited time for a couple of seasons and then it gets replaced. Or at that point, will the engine and the game be stable enough to support Verdansk and Avalon at the same time? Certainly something that even now before the map drops, we're already getting some potential details on because of these leaks and rumors. So some really curious things going on with Verdansk as of right now, you know, about a month out from actually seeing it launch potentially. One thing I will say is I know a lot of people have been asking, you know, what's going on with Verdansk? Why haven't they talked about it? You know, it's only a month away. You think they'd want to promote this. Typically with Call of Duty, outside of very, very specific things, they're not trying to overshadow what's next on their roadmap, if you will. So their roadmap being Season 2, Season 2 Reloaded, Season 3, Season 3 Reloaded. So obviously being in the first half of Season 2 for the past month, they're not going to necessarily overshadow everything with Season 2 Reloaded and talk about what's coming a month beyond that with Season 3, this in this case being Verdansk. So now though that we are in Season 2 Reloaded and we've only got just under a month until we do see the launch of Season 3, we're likely going to start to see more and more official information surface on Verdansk and on the Season 3 update, whether it's in the form of teasers, COD changing their profile pictures or posting some very ambiguous images of maybe classic Verdansk POIs or uploading teaser trailers or whatever, ultimately leading up to an official reveal and announcement there. I imagine Verdansk is going to dominate the marketing scene for some time, sort of separate from the rest of the Season 3 stuff, just because they want so much focus to go towards that, right? Like personally, I wouldn't be surprised if Season 3 is dropping on March 20th. March 10th is going to be that 5-year anniversary. We could see that maybe as a huge day for marketing where they do drop that Verdansk trailer or they announce it officially on the anniversary and say, hey, in just 10 days time, you can drop back in to the very first Warzone map or something like that. So for those of you wondering, while we do have some preliminary leaks and rumors now, we should start to see potentially even more leaks as more game files are data mined in the coming days and weeks, but also actual official stuff where we get way more details than just what the game files can tell us, you know, very ambiguously, because they're just code names or they're just little strings of text as opposed to a full trailer, a blog, reveal images, things like that. So we've got plenty to look out for in the next month or so. You guys know I'm gonna keep you updated with everything going on here with all the Season 3 updates and Verdansk in specific. So if you want to guarantee you are up to date, be sure to hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications so you never miss a video. And if you enjoyed this one, you're looking forward to the return of Verdansk, be sure to drop a like on it on your way out. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in, and until next time, take it easy, have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.